Hello, Reese here. The aim of this video is to increase your understanding of what mental health is. As you can see from the canoes and kayaks behind me, my main background is a paddle sport coach. This started from a young age when I was able to start assisting with pool sessions. Over the years, my coaching moved from coaching skills and techniques to coaching individuals to make sure that they're happy and comfortable in their chosen environment. With COVID-19 restricting our ability to interact face-to-face, I took to providing webinars based on first aid for mental health and mental health awareness. Unfortunately, with more people using the internet for similar webinars and for catching up with each other, bandwidth has started to decrease. As a result, I thought I'd create a couple of videos instead to share that content more widely. Everyone has physical and mental health. Our physical health is our physical ability to move and to do things, and in our bodily functions. If we are injured, we go and seek help. If we can't move a limb, we go and seek help. Mental health is our mental function. It's the way we think, feel, act based on our emotions, psychological and social well-being. Like with physical health, if we are prevented from taking part in an everyday activity due to our mental health, we should seek help. All areas of our health have our ups and our downs. Mental health is tightly connected to our emotions. Emotions are created through our thoughts, feelings, impulses and bodily sensations. These four areas interact with each other to create emotions. For example, have you ever walked past someone who smiled at you, you smiled back and instantly felt a bit happier? That's our body acting and then creating an emotion. Likewise, our emotions can bring up thoughts. This is how, as humans, we've evolved. Our brain automatically connects similar experiences and feelings together to create a bank of memories. The more we visit that one area, the stronger the memory gets, the stronger that feeling, that thought starts to get. One negative experience gets banked with another negative experience, creating a stronger thought process around that similar negativity. For instance, if we're feeling anxious or sad, our brain may start to bring up other memories which have the same emotion and the same feeling, creating a bigger block, which then may bring up more memories because the feeling starts to get stronger, and then our brain starts to race and we start to think of other similar aspects, creating a negative spiral. As humans, this is the way we've evolved. This is how we've become one of the best organisms on the planet. Other creatures don't possess the same thought processes as we do. Think of zebras, for example. They're quite happily eating their grass, minding their own business. Along comes a lion, they see the lion, they run away from the lion. They stop seeing the lion, they start to eat the grass again and forget they ever saw the lion. As humans, we'd be thinking, what about a cheetah? What about a zebra? What's the next thing that's going to come along? Our mental health affects our everyday life. It affects our physical health, it affects our ability to concentrate and to take part in social activities, work and education. As individuals, we all have mental well-being. It can be higher and it can be lower. As individuals, we could also have a mental illness diagnosis. Everyone can place themselves on this continuum. For instance, they could be a person with no mental illness or disorder with positive mental health. They could be a person with no diagnosed illness or disorder, but they could be experiencing poor mental well-being. They could be a person who has a diagnosed mental illness who is experiencing poor mental health. We could also be a person with a diagnosed mental illness who is coping well and has positive mental well-being. With these four areas, it's important to note where we are on different days. For instance, we could have a mental illness diagnosis, but we could be coping well on one day. The following day, however, our mental illness could feel worse, and our mental well-being could be affected because of it. Through plotting where we are on any given day, we're able to see that things may go down, but they also go back up. Things don't stay in one place forever, and although we may be experiencing a poor bout of mental health, things will improve and we will feel better. Within the UK, there's greater awareness around mental health, but there's still a lot of stigma associated with mental health. Stigma is a negative view towards mental health, and it can lead to discrimination. Stigma towards mental health has two main areas. Firstly, we have social stigma. Social stigma is a negative attitude shared by a society or a group of individuals. This negative attitude is towards an individual with a mental health condition. The other is self-stigma. This is when the individual agrees with society's view around mental health and views themselves negatively. They then don't seek assistance, they don't try and get the help they need, which can create a worse scenario for that mental health condition. Within the UK, 25% of all adults can experience a mental health condition within any given year. Half of all mental health problems are established by the age of 14. 10% of all children aged between 5 and 16 have a diagnosed mental health condition. If we can start to break the stigma around mental health, we may reduce some of these statistics. As a quick recap, I've got a couple of questions which you may want to pause the video for to answer and then press play again. Question 1. What is mental health? Question 2. What is an emotion? Question 3. What is stigma? Thank you for viewing this overview on what is mental health.